Welcome to another episode of Marketing School. I'm Eric Su.
And I'm Neil Patel.
And today we're going to talk about how to generate high quality traffic on a budget. So I guess I can go first. Did you want to start with anything?
No, you go first.
Okay. So here's how I did it in the early days when I was getting no traffic. And I think about Single Grain when I first came on, we're getting 3,000 to 4,000 visits a month. Nothing.
Well, actually, let's start off with this. I actually have something to say. So how do you define what high quality traffic is when you're starting off? Because most of these people, if they're looking to do this on a budget, they probably have little to no visitors. And they're probably wondering like, oh, how do I know if the person's actually going to buy or, right? So we should first address that. So how do we
define high quality traffic, right?
Yes.
So for me in the beginning, we looked at, and we actually didn't collect emails in the beginning, but I looked at how well converting this traffic was in terms of collecting email signups.
Cool. And why'd you use that as an entry point?
Because traffic can be anything, right? We sometimes we make fun of Outbrain and Taboola because it's fly by the night traffic sometimes it can work. But when you have traffic that actually converts for the offer that you have on your site, let's say I have like a marketing lead magnet, you know that traffic is the right traffic.
You know, what Eric's getting at is when someone puts in an email address, it's the first step of them being willing to buy. They always say the money's in the list, like people like Frank Kern or John Reese are like, yeah, my email list is like my ATM. I can just keep continually emailing out when I need to generate more income. And they're spot on. If you can get someone to put in an email address with whatever offering you have that's related to your product or service, at least you know you have the right kind of audience coming to your website.
Yeah, so going back to the example, right? So let's say in the beginning, Single Grain was only getting 3,000 to 4,000 visits a month. I was like, man, how do we get more emails, right? How do we get more traffic, but also make sure it converts? And so what we started doing.
Wait. On a budget, forget the we. Let's go back to
on
what
a budget,
you can do.
On a budget. This is literally actually when I first came in, I was doing the outreach for this. So Eric was like doing the outreach. Just imagine me sitting there emailing people that I want to guest post on. So let's say I want to guest post on, Entrepreneur Magazine or Search Engine Watch, all these took like a ton of like reach out over and over and over. So I wasn't spending any money. I was spending my time. But eventually I got a couple and they started to snowball and I was getting, 5, 10, 15 of these articles up per month. And that started to snowball. And our conversion rate coming from that traffic, the guest post traffic was like, 4 or 5% or so, which is good. It's not like we're getting thousands of visits. Maybe we're getting like a couple hundred or so. But that started to get our domain authority higher. Things started to snowball. And then we started to really grow.
We did a podcast, I would say less than a week ago, called How to Grow Your Marketing Through Partnerships. And if you're just starting off and you want really quality traffic and you don't have a ton of money, you can do outreach to other people within your space and do offers and promotions. For example, ConvertKit is an email marketing solution.
It's called renamed to Siva now, I think.
Nah.
Yeah.
Dude, I just sent out
I'll bet you $1 million.
Dude, I just sent out an email blast this morning.
No, I'll bet you $1 million.
I don't want to take that bet. Are you serious? Why'd they change your name? ConvertKit.
Yeah.
Dude, nah, it's ConvertKit. Look at the homepage.
They rebranded. Search for ConvertKit rebrand.
Dude, it's not. ConvertKit.com.
Yeah, maybe they haven't changed it yet, but search for ConvertKit rebrand.
Are you serious?
Maybe you should have bet me. See? Siva. You owe me $1 million.
I never took that bet. I don't want to take a bet on something I don't know. So, now Siva, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that sucks. I like the old name. All right, so Siva, ConvertKit, whatever it may be. With ConvertKit, the way Nathan grew that company, he did outreach to all the Pat Flynn's of the world or the bloggers in his space who had the potential audience. He offered them 50% or something ridiculous like that of all revenue that they drive, and he did joint webinars. So if you don't have traffic, you don't have to pay for it. You don't even have to do guest blogging, although that works and that's a smart strategy. What you could just do is go to the people who already have your ideal traffic and try to do partnerships and incentivize them. Do performance-based deals, do affiliate deals, whatever it may be, or you can do cross promotions. That one's going to be tough because you probably don't have an audience yourself. Typically, affiliate-based deals will work, and you can get people to promote you in exchange for money for every time that they drive a sign up.
Yeah, if you think about it, I mean, Russell Brunson, too, I think he gives a 40% commission on ClickFunnels, which is why they've done pretty well with affiliates. But also, remember, there's this blog that we really like, Groove HQ, where they showed how they got from 0 to 100,000 in MRR, or maybe even higher than that now. But all he did in the very beginning, he was really good at his outreach. He was very diligent about reaching out to me. He's like, hey, And it was very like non-pushy. It's like, hey, like I'm doing this one post, can I share it with you, right? And he just kept doing it over and over, and I'd always say like, yes, I'd look at it, and he'd be like, okay, are you willing to share it too? And that's how he started to really grow, because he kept reaching out these influencers, and they're all willing to share it, and then his traffic just shot up.
Yeah. That's the main way. If I was starting off, I would use any of those strategies. The main one I like, and I've always found it to work, is just straight up just do tons of biz dev and partnerships. It could be, partnerships where code promotions through webinars, or it could be them promoting you and you giving affiliate deal, or it could be partner pages, which we've used at Crazy Egg for a long time. It could be a mixture of anything.
Yeah, the example I like to use is like in business too. When you're first starting out, same thing with when you're building a blog or you're building traffic, you're saying yes to most deals, and then when you start to get more and more successful, you start to say no to more and more things. And unless you're an exception like Neil, Neil still says yes to a lot of these things, right?
Yes, I still say yes to most things.
Yeah. Anyway, so that is it for today. Go to singlegrain.com/survey to help us make this experience better for you, and we'll see you tomorrow.